Greetings, abstraction students. Happy New Year. My name is Dan Seidel, and I'll be leading us through our 8-week journey through theories of abstraction. I'm really looking forward to this class and spending time with you over these next few weeks. I know most of you have experienced me as a teacher, guide, facilitator in courses. In earlier courses, but I thought for those few that haven't, that I would introduce myself in this video, give you a sense of how I will approach this class, how I approach teaching in general in the graduate level, and how we'll negotiate the online component, and how I will approach the subject matter as well. So first of all, I'm trained as an art historian. I'm a specialist in modern contemporary art history, theory, and criticism. I wrote a doctoral dissertation at the University of Iowa on the critics of abstract expressionism. I've been interested in criticism and theory, how we think about and talk about works of art, how those works of art have been written about and talked about and thought about over the past 150 years of the arc of artistic practice in the context of modernity. And so this online program is a perfect fit for my interests and strengths. I also served as a chief curator of the University Art Museum at the University of Nebraska, called the Sheldon Museum of Art. Spent 11 years organizing and curating exhibitions from the permanent collection that focuses on 19th and 20th century American modernism. And so the development of abstraction is something that I was able to experience and worked through firsthand in exhibitions of paintings and sculpture in our very fine permanent collection. I also worked with contemporary artists and continue to do so, and have worked closely with artists in their studios as a consultant and as an independent curator for well over 20 years. My primary teaching appointment is a senior fellow of modern art history, criticism, and theory at the King's College in New York City. It's a small private liberal arts Christian college located in the financial district in New York City, and I travel there often to teach. I live with my family in South Florida, in Fort Lauderdale, and it provides an opportunity for me to enjoy the tropical weather, the ocean, and then my teaching and travel allows me to see the world. This is I'm going to show you the textbook. It's Art of the Avant-Gardes. Please get that. This will be the basic structure of the course. I'll provide you with other readings on a weekly basis. I'll begin next week as we start our 8-week journey with an email on Monday. So expect by early Monday morning over these next few weeks an email from me that introduces this week's topic, gives you the links to the readings, provides a context for the readings and what we will explore. Will give you the discussion prompt that you'll be responsible for sending it directly to me, and then if you are interested in having feedback from other students, for which won't be in those comments and interactions that you have with other students won't be graded, you can post them on Canvas and have conversations and dialogue. What I will offer you, what I want to be able to offer you and my particular teaching philosophy and strengths provide me with the opportunity to give to you my personal feedback, my in-depth feedback to all of your writing. And so you can send me your weekly discussion prompts by Sunday night of that week, and by early of the next week, I'll have responses for you that are direct engagements. And for those of you, as I said, that want interaction with your colleagues from around the country or around the world, Canvas will be a platform that you can do that. And I'll make sure that Canvas, as the online platform, is set up and ready for you to do that. That will be really the only opportunity or the only need for you to use the online platform Canvas. I try to avoid it as much as I possibly can. And the focus of this class is a reading, thinking, writing class. And I'm not really interested in the bells and whistles that often accommodate online teaching and learning interaction. And so I'm very much interested in developing what could be. There are, I think, 13 students with me on this journey, and I see it in some ways as 13 independent studies where I'm mentoring and guiding you. So I take that very seriously, and it's a way for me to be able to do what I think I do best. I've also in this email I've attached a draft of the syllabus. It'll give you a sense of what to expect through each of the weeks. I will unfold for you each week the readings. There may be an additional reading. I may subtract a reading. I may move them around. Just given the pace of our course, given what you guys are interested in and how you respond to the questions, it may force me or enable me to provide additional readings, reduce some readings. So I want you to be aware of that. My interest in education is not to give you content necessarily, to allow you and to provide the kinds of bells and whistles that make it look like education is happening. Lots of quizzes, lots of testing. In many ways, the problem that I find with online education is that it can function like a high school class, where what you're doing is you're keeping students busy. It's a very passive one in which you're trained to expect certain things given to you, and then you tick off various boxes. I don't teach that way. I don't teach that way in the classroom. I wasn't trained to teach that way. I'm not interested in education in any conventional sense. I'm interested in conversion. I'm interested in igniting your imagination, in developing, igniting your passion, and deepening your interest and love for art. Many of you are approaching this. All of you are approaching this program for different reasons, and you're doing it in addition to your adult responsibilities with your families and your jobs, your careers, etc. And so I want to provide the maximum opportunity for you to be able to utilize this course and this program for those particular needs. But what I need and what I want is for you to be passionate about it, for you to be committed to it, for you to believe that there is truly something at stake in searching out what abstraction is and why it's important, not just for our program, for how we experience and perceive the world itself. That's what I'm interested in revealing for you and pointing you the way. Also, I'm going to give you a lot of readings, but I'm not going to require you to do all the readings. I'm not going to test to make sure that you've done all the readings. I'm providing you with resources that you may use in this course, you may use later throughout. In week 6, you may go back to week 1 and say, oh, this is a reading that I wasn't able to do, but I'm going to do it now because it's relevant now. Or it'll be in another class. It'll be working on an abstract artist in another context, in another class in which abstraction becomes an issue for you to explore, to revisit, and you can go back to your files and you can go back to your library and you can go back through your writings and go back through the PDFs and the resources that I've provided you. That's what I'm providing for you. I'm providing you guidance. I'm giving you a way forward, and And that's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm teaching this class. That's why I'm in the classroom, whether it's literally or figuratively through the online context. Now, about our subject. The subject explores the development of abstraction in modern art, in modern artistic practice from the late 19th century through the middle of the 20th century. However, abstraction is more than just an art historical style. It is connected to and deeply embedded in modernity as a cultural phenomenon, as a cultural trajectory, as an historical epoch, and it's also very much connected to the Enlightenment, to the emergence of thinking outside the context of the stable hierarchies that structured Christendom, that structured medieval and early Renaissance thought. We will go back and look at and read Alberti's treatise on painting that he published in the 1430s that articulates painting, the pictorial tradition, as a means of representation that is predicated upon mimesis, looking at the world and representing what is observed in the world. And abstraction has its roots right there. We'll look at Russian and Byzantine icons as a way of experiencing the world and how the icon offers insight into both this Western pictorial tradition that is representational, that focuses on mimesis, representing what we experience empirically, visually in the world, and abstraction, which tries to do something else, that goes further, that explores the world in ways that aren't purely empirical. A visual medium that is in a visual mode of experience and representation that is more than visual, that's more than visible, but working with a visual medium, paint smeared on a flat surface, forms modeled in clay. And we will focus primarily on painting, and it's in the pictorial tradition that the most fundamental issues of abstraction and its connection to cognition, to epistemology, to theology are played out. And that is the context within which we will explore then the development, this art historical development of abstraction from the late 19th century to the middle of the 20th century. You could say from Monet and Manet to Pollock. And so abstraction then is abstract painting is an important component of understanding the history, understanding intellectual and cultural history, understanding the history of modern theology and modern philosophy, how we experience, conceptualize the world. So I hope these thoughts are helpful to you. I am really looking forward to when we get started next week. If you have any questions, please email me. I am available, and I try very, very hard to respond to you very quickly in real time. My wife will sometimes get angry with me. We're at dinner, and I'll be looking at my phone, and I'll be typing on my phone, and she'll ask me what I'm doing. And I say, I'm responding to a student who has a question. So I try very hard to respond as quickly as I can. So I'm very excited about this class. This is the first time I've taught it, and so there's a certain excitement, a bit of fear and trepidation, but I appreciate each and every one of you coming along for the ride. We'll all be in the same boat. We'll be in the plane together, as it were, and I'm looking forward to taking off and then discovering where we'll land. And I think that's part of the adventure of art, and also part of the adventure of graduate school and exploring the world in the depth that graduate studies provides. So I hope you enjoyed your holiday season. I look forward to this new year with you, and I hope it's the first of many classes that we'll have together over this next year. Take care.